All right, there we are. Okay, so we went live and we had some technical issues. Technical issues are resolved. This is what happens when you go live from your office and you are not an audio video expert. But guess what? We got to go live for you anyway. Today, we're talking about unique sales proposition. This is extremely important if you are an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you're out there hustling and you really, you know, you finally come to that realization that hustling is not sustainable, that you need to build that thing out, grow it, turn it into a business, start creating jobs, right? Take off some of those hats, doing everything yourself. Listen, we got to dig deep on this. Unique sales proposition. We're on YouTube and we're live, so you can ask your questions. And we're going to open up the live chat right now. Okay, so while enjoying a cigar, I am taking a break from enjoying my lunch to talk to you about unique sales proposition. What is unique sales proposition? The unique sales proposition of your business is how your product or service is different from anything on the market, whether in the design of the product or service, its delivery, or its marketing. I'm going to use as an example watches, just so you have something to see that we can talk about specifically. This is an automatic, right? What does that mean? It doesn't use a battery. It runs off my heartbeat. My heartbeat keeps it wound, right? Automatics are not watches of the caliber of an Omega or Audemars because the movement in it is not of the standard to pass Swiss certification to be certified as a chronometer. What does that mean? That means that, for example, every month this runs 5 minutes fast. So over the course of a month, my heartbeat causes this watch at noon to say 12:05. Gotta adjust it, right? A chronometer would never have that problem. Flip side, chronometers typically start at $1,000. Automatics typically start at 300 to 500. Both go up, sure, but there's a stark difference, right? For an everyday watch, unless you're making a million a year, you're probably not going to care about a chronometer unless you're a lifestyler. That is something important to you. Well, in designing your products, in designing your services, I need you doing that same kind of thinking that Omega does, right? What is out there? Who is doing it and doing it well? Can you compete against them? Translation: how deep are your pockets? Okay? How big is your piggy bank? Be able to prove it. I was on a investment review committee call this morning, and a couple really good businesses. I like what they were doing, what they're talking about. No names. Of course, confidentiality is job one. What I always want to be clear on, and probably the reason I'm on the committee is I always want to know when someone is pitching, how are you communicating the value that you represent successfully. If you're going into a bloody ocean, a highly competitive market, a highly competitive arena, a highly competitive industry, a highly competitive market segment, if you're going into the bloody waters, then how are you going to stand out? That is the most important question anybody asked you today. How do you stand out? How are you different, better? Or how are you marketing uniquely to a segment that's not being touched? Important question. Because if you're making toilet paper, for example, don't squeeze the Charmin. Baby boomers and Gen Xers are going to recognize that slogan. So who are they leaving behind? Millennials and Gen Z. Maybe your marketing strategy is to go after millennials and Gen Z. There is an entire community. Shout out to my friends at Entra. There is an entire community of entrepreneurs and founders in the Gen Z community. It's a community. They are serious. Realize that they're coming out of college. Okay? They are in the marketplace and they're here. They're real. They're live. They're bold as hell. All right? They don't see things the way even my generation saw things. My generation was programmed by the boomers. So therefore, we respect hierarchy. We respect title to some degree. And then we want to know who you are. And over time, we'll say, kick rocks. Gen Z wants to know who you are, how you add value, what you bring to the table, what you can teach them, and can you work together? Maybe that's your market. Maybe you're a disruptor. Maybe, yeah, your product or service isn't much different than what's already out there in the marketplace, right? Maybe. But maybe you realize that there is a segment of the market that's being ignored. Sure, no marketing department would ever admit that they ignored a complete segment of the market because the CEO would probably fire them. But it happens every day. It's happening right now. But let's be real. You really only need to focus on the consumer or the business, if you're B2B, who most values what you're offering, who your product or service benefits the most. So your unique sales proposition, baby, listen, it has to drill home how unlike anything else that's in front of them, positioning. That part of your market research. Do your homework. Let's go. How more than any other product or service in front of them, you add value. Your unique sales proposition is like, I swear, if you don't get that right, and not perfect, perfecting a thing means it's been done and now it's being improved upon. That's what I want you doing. Do not think you gotta dot every I and cross every T. Damn it, get it done. Then dot the I's. Then cross the T's. What's the consumer saying back to you? What is the market saying back to you? You think you got the hottest thing on earth, then you should have a very strong market share. VCs should be banging down your door. They're not? Well, damn. Back to the drawing board. Survey, 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 survey. If you've had sales, I pray you are in constant contact with them, that you're talking to the people that have spent money with you, that you know not just why they value it and how they think you can improve upon it, but I need you to know who they are. You're not doing me a favor. People need a personal touch. Sales is relationship driven and value centered in 2021 and going forward. I need you to know that. You can't say you're really focused on adding value and you really don't care who you're adding value to. Come on. Who are they? What was their gender at birth? How do they identify? An important question. It's a new question, but baby, you got to adapt if you're going to be successful. Want to be a dinosaur? Go ahead. Die already. The dinosaurs are gone. Is that what you want? You want to be gone? You want to be gone? You don't want that. Who are they? What was their gender at birth? And how do they identify? They might have been born a guy and they might identify as a girl. You need to know that. If they were born a guy, they identify as a girl, and you're marketing the guys, you're barking up the wrong friggin' tree. How old are they? Average household income. What are they making a year? Are they married? Do they have kids? Right? These are demographic data points that really matter a lot because you need at every stage of the game, you need to know who is buying what you're selling. You better be hella clear on that. All right, no questions. So, gonna jump. Got a lot to do today. Anyway, if you do have questions, we go live here every Wednesday at lunchtime at noon ish. Right? Technical issues, it's 12:15 instead of 12. Whatevs. If you're subscribed, you won't miss it. When we're live, I'm answering your questions. You're getting my advice, which is expensive, for free. You should take advantage of free. Free is good. You see, I do this because I want to see you succeed. If you succeed, then the world is a better place for my grandchildren. And that's really what's important to me. All right. So once again, Rich Laster with growexpand.com. Loving on you. All right. Develop those, tweak those, and perfect those unique sales propositions as you're out there selling, doing it, hitting the road. Rubber, rubber the road, rubber the road. Let's go. Because profits don't happen while you're at the drawing board. They happen as you're building relationships and adding value to the marketplace. Love you. Please remember to subscribe so you don't miss anything of what we do when we pop up with add-ons and just lectures, lessons, conversations, interviews that you need to hear. We want you to be a part of that. Feel free to comment, feedback, questions. Hit us on Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other social media. We are at Grow Expand. And now, a word from our sponsors.